welcome to the weekly podcast. I'm Elizabeth Langley with Rebecca Lopez and Lindsay Bailey, the coordinator of student involvement.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
So we're going to start off by talking about the upcoming events here at UNG. I understand we have Spring Fling, Unity Concert, and Night of Nations. And could you tell us just a little bit about what each of these are?
Sure. So I'll start with the first one coming up is our Spring Fling, which is next Wednesday, April 3rd. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's out on the front lawn on the campus. We're going to have a giant slide, a photo booth, frisbee art, free t-shirts, and there's always a big giant cookout as well. So come on by for that. It's completely free. Our second event up is Night of Nations. That's going to be on Thursday, April 11th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is sponsored by the Multicultural Student Association, and it's our first time we're going to try this event, and hopefully it'll become a part of our culture here at the Oconee campus. Is what we're kind of hoping for, and to recur it every year. It's an international dinner and a show that will feature our students that come from a diverse background and multiple different cultures. It's free, and you can pick up your free student ticket at the Student Involvement Office in room 508. And then our big giant thing for the year is our Unity Concert that celebrates all of our campuses coming together to be the University of North Georgia. It's going to be Billy Currington, and Greg Bates is the opening band. It's Wednesday, April 17th at the Cumming Fairgrounds. The concert starts at 7:30, but we're going to have a charter bus that's going to leave from here at 5 o'clock and then go take you over to Cumming. It's about a 2-hour drive, and it'll take you back after the concert. You can pick up, again, your free ticket at the Student Involvement Office in room 508. You just need to make sure you show your student ID. If you want to purchase a guest ticket, it's $35.
Okay, and anybody can join or go to these events, right?
Yes.
There's no specific group, or you don't have to have a certain amount of tickets that you need to purchase or anything like that. Just anybody can go.
Everybody's welcome to all of these things. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again for staying tuned and watching our weekly podcast. For our next segment, we're going to talk about something college students have in common and might actually need some help, and that is how to study for finals.
Yeah, okay, so as you know, finals are a month away. And, I mean, for a lot of, this is, crunch time. So, how do you get ready?
Okay, I am taking about 7 classes, and honestly, it's killing me because trying to spread the amount of time that I spend for each class, and when each class's tests are going to be, sometimes they're overlap, and that's even trickier because, sometimes you have 3 tests, or, and you have to try to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to study for each one of them? A lot of people say flashcards help them. For me, it's just outlines and, doing study guides, things like that, and just reading the book in general and highlighting in the book is what really helps me. Flashcards not so much because I tend to get distracted when I do flashcards. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually really like the flashcards because what I'll do is, I'll take notes in class, and then going over your notes also helps, get it in your brain. Well, then, while you're writing down, this definition, this looks important keywords, what I do when I'm studying the flashcards is I'll read the definition, and if I get the word, I'll put it in one pile. And then if I read the definition, and don't get the word, it goes in the next pile. So then when I read the next flashcard and I don't get the definition, it goes back in that pile. But every time that I read the new card, I always read the pile that I got wrong until everything is in the right pile.
Right.
And then at the end, when everything's in the right pile, I go through it again. So that helps you reinforce what you've been learning. And also they talk about if you read at night and going over your notes at night and sleeping on it. So while you're sleeping, the information's being processed and settled in your mind. And also, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people do this, but you can also bring your tape recorders and stuff in class and record the lecture. And while you're sleeping or while you're just at home, you can re-listen to the lecture. I mean, and it really does help. And also just reading out loud, reading the book out loud.
Right, and that's one thing that really does help me. Hearing myself read the information over and over again and highlighting, not only am I just going over it and doing it repetitively, but as I'm highlighting, if I stop the next day, I know what is important, and I just look at, the book and the notes, meaning the highlighted things that I, took over, instead of reading things that I might have said, okay, this is pointless, I'm going to have to read the whole book again and pick out anything that, might be irrelevant.
Yeah.
I can just go straight to the information that I need to know, and that to me is a lot helpful and beneficial.
Yeah, and
than anything else.
Yeah, like a lot of students also need to remember that every professor has office hours.
Right.
And there's also like a tutor for every class. So like as finals are coming up, you need to be aware of like what your professor's office hours are, like who the tutor is for, what class you're taking, because it's like really beneficial and it's free. Like, I mean, not free, like you're paying for it, you paid for the classes, and so like get the help, like.
Right, and
it's there.
I mean, especially if you're taking remedial classes, students who are coming in and or who want to get out of their math 97 or math 99 and want to take and pass and take the class. Honestly, there's nothing embarrassing about it. You're not, just because you're taking this class does not mean that you're any smarter or any
Like
less smarter
of a student
than anybody else who is taking a college level class. It just means, hey, you need a little bit more help. I took it. There's nothing shameful about it. I tested out of it, and with the help of tutors that were provided.
Yeah.
I mean, use the sources that you have here in school. They're absolutely free, and I mean, why not? You're paying for it, so get your money's worth of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like great. I mean, like with that, like it makes me like, let's go on to the next topic about how to drop and add like your major.
Right.
Like for an example, like just talking about classes, I started out college as a journalist major. Well, I started taking classes and realizing like, maybe this isn't for me, because the journalist, like, writing and everything, I don't want to do that. I wanted to do broadcast. So I was like, what can I do like where I could still do broadcast that they offer at this school? And I was like, I talked to my advisor, I talked to some professors, and I switched my major to communications, because I mean, like for me, that can help me in a lot of different things, because I don't know what I want to do. So with a communications like associate degree, like I can bring that other places, like.
Well, I mean, I haven't really took into consideration of what I wanted to, if I wanted to change my major or not. Right now it's journalism, just because I know if I take journalism, I can change that field if I do decide to transfer to maybe broadcast journalism, and those fall like almost into the same categories. That way I have experience in journalism, and I also I'm taking classes that would be part of like communications, so and that could also help me for if I do decide to go and change my major into broadcast journalism, which is what I'm hoping to do in the future. But classes like media studies and film, things like that, you don't necessarily need to change your major if you don't want to, but there are classes that do fit majors that we may not offer here. Take opportunity of those classes. Like, go ahead and take them. Ask your advisors. They're here to help you.
Yeah, and you need to be aware of like what classes you've taken and what classes you're taking to like the major. Like some classes I took last semester, like I mean, I really am not going to get credit for now, because that point I was a journalist major and now I'm a communication major, but that's okay. It's it's experience, like this happens. But you also know that all students that do not have to take remedial classes can change your major on your own. But if you're in remedial classes, then you have to meet with your advisor to do it. So, I mean, that's real simple. Just email your advisor, tell them, I want to change my major.
Yeah.
Like, they'll meet with you, change it.
And that actually could be an even better thing, that if you do need to meet with your advisors, because a lot of the times, if you come in as a freshman, you could be making really, poor choices towards like what you're trying to study, and then you realize when it's too late, I did not need to take that class. And you wasted all that time when you could have just quickly taken the class that you needed to, and gotten it over with. And either if you want to transfer soon, or if you want do the 60 hours 2.0 GPA, sometimes it's a good thing to just if people don't agree with you, like taking remedial class, or if you feel shameful, honestly, it's actually probably the best thing.
Yeah, you get like the concrete information, and like you really know it. And with these remedial classes, you get a really good foundation, and a good foundation is good for all college classes.
Which brings us to our next topic, which we're going to talk about fall classes. I do think it's weird that they haven't even been posted up yet, and we are close to the end of the school semester.
Yeah, like as we were saying earlier, finals are in a month. Like, how are we supposed to prepare for the fall, especially like us who are not taking summer classes? Like, how are we supposed to know, like, get ready for the fall when...
Right, talk to your advisors. The whole thing that we were talking about, it's really good to be prepared. And I always like to go ahead of time, just in case if anything happens.
Yeah.
You can switch your classes out, especially for fall. And since a lot of students are transferring and are taking fall as their last semester here at UNG, Oconee, they want to transfer for the spring at UGA. Well, how are you going to know what classes are going to be available or what classes are going to be here for that? I'd be surprised if we were the only campus that did not have our fall classes.
Yeah.
I would not at all.
Because we're so small.
I know.
That's it. Like, I mean, I don't understand why. I don't understand why the classes aren't up and finals are in a month.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure last year they were up pretty quickly.
And like
because they had registered for summer
and fall together.
Of that, yeah, I remember that.
Like with all the stress of finals, like it's like so like the closer we get to finals, the more stressed you're gonna be. Well then like we're getting like super close to finals, and then oh my gosh, the fall schedules come out. So now not only am I having to worry about finals, I'm also having to worry about like what class am I gonna take. Oh my gosh, I have to meet with my advisor.
Right, and it just causes another stress level that honestly we do not need at all.
Yeah.
But I guess that's it. Thank you again for staying tuned to our weekly podcast. We will hopefully see you again next week. We are your hosts, Rebecca Lopez.
And Elizabeth Langley, and we will see you again next week.